Hey NetSuite podcasters, thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Kendall Fisher, and on this episode of the NetSuite podcast, I sat down with Oracle NetSuite's Area Vice President, Strategic Initiatives, Katrina Horton. She heads up NetSuite SuiteSuccess International, and that probably bodes your next question, which is, what's SuiteSuccess? Although Katrina answers this and so much more, I'll let you know it's the go-to market strategy for NetSuite, and more importantly, it's what we've implemented globally to bring our customers a better experience and therefore continue helping them grow, no matter their size, industry, challenges, or location.
You're listening to the NetSuite podcast, where we discuss what's happening within NetSuite, why we're doing it, and where we're heading in the future. We'll dive into the details about the software and the people at NetSuite who are behind all the moving parts. We'll also feature customer growth stories, discussing the ups and downs of running a company and how one integrated system can help your business continue to scale.
Before we get into this interview with Katrina Horton, we want to thank our sponsors at The Second City. Here's a little business insight that's almost too good to be true. Learning works best when you're laughing. Second City Works, the B2B side of the comedy mecca, The Second City, unleashes the improv methods pioneered on their world-famous stages to help companies and individuals improve performance. Their professional development programs unlock better ways to communicate, collaborate, and innovate, all while laughing till you learn. I actually took one of the Second City classes, and it really did help me break out of my shell a little more. I know, hard to believe I had a shell to break out of, but it seriously did. Anyway, check it out for yourself. Visit secondcityworks.com to find out more. Thank you so much, Katrina, for being with us here today in the beautiful Oracle Santa Monica offices. Quite a nice day to be here.
It is. It's been gorgeous.
Yeah. And where are you from originally? Remind me.
Originally, I'm from Mississippi, but I live in Denver. So.
Okay. And what's Denver weather looking like as we near fall?
It's 90 degrees today.
Oh my gosh. So it's not much different than LA, obviously.
No, not at all.
Okay, so actually, let's talk a little bit about where you were before coming to Oracle NetSuite. Where did you grow up, and then what was your career trajectory and path up to this point?
Sounds great. Interesting story about how I grew up. My uncle played professional basketball, and he came to Denver, and so a lot of the family moved to Denver with him. And so that's how I moved from Mississippi to Denver and grew up there. I went to the University of Colorado at Boulder, and my background was in accounting. I went through a few implementations. So I went through software implementations, and that's kind of how I was introduced to this industry. And then I went through a reorg and decided, you know what, I want something different.
Yeah.
And I ended up joining Oracle.
Okay.
Back in 1998, I joined Oracle as a junior implementation consultant and moved to Florida, as a matter of fact, to implement there. And I was working everywhere. I had some really large customer names. So I was mostly working in the enterprise space. And then I stayed at Oracle for 16 years, decided I wanted something a little bit different, and I came over to NetSuite. And so that's kind of my background before the acquisition.
Wow. Okay, so first of all, that was like big days, early days for obviously internet and everything else in Oracle in general. So that's exciting. And what was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. Coming in 98, I mean, we were on, I think, 10.7 Smart Character or something like that. It was before GUI.
Yeah.
So I've seen the software change so much over the years before we got to the cloud platform. It's been quite a growth period. So I've had to really help customers solve their business problems from different stages of our software solutions.
And so what did you do with Oracle? I mean, obviously you were there for a very long time, but what did you come in doing, and then what was your path there?
Sure. I was an implementation consultant, so my background, again, was in financials. I had an accounting degree, so I would go in and work with customers on setting up their, financial solutions, their financial implementations. I did that for years, and then I went into project management, practice management, portfolio management. I've done lots of stuff with Oracle. when I left Oracle, I was working in a Fusion Success program. So I'd started going on the cloud side. I was working with Fusion, and I was working with some of our partners to make sure that they had that direct connection into the development team.
Yeah.
And just working with cloud kind of made me think, I want to do something different. And I, took that as a venture over to NetSuite.
Well, did you know, Evan worked at Oracle, and I think he left that year, but how weird would that be, though?
I know, it's so crazy. It's when I interviewed with NetSuite, I really didn't know, and then they were telling me about the whole NetSuite background with Oracle, and I was thinking, wow, and something told me, you know what, I think I'm going to be back at Oracle again, and here I am.
And look, I know, and just 2 years ago, the acquisition happened, so it's come full circle for you, for sure.
It has.
And especially in this role that you're in right now, which is the Area Vice President Strategic Initiatives, correct?
Correct.
What does that entail? Tell our listeners, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So, as the Area Vice President of Strategic Initiatives, I lead the international SuiteSuccess team. So SuiteSuccess is our go-to-market strategy for Oracle NetSuite. So it's something that was started about 3 years ago, and a little bit of an interesting story. So about 7 of us were brought into a room with a lot of the executives, and we were told, hey, this is the problem statement. This is what you guys need to solve. We're not going to tell you how to solve it. We're just telling you this is the problem.
Yeah.
And we went, okay, what are we getting ourselves into? Our whole job was going to change. They wanted us to do this full time. And so a team of 7 just kind of got together, and we were looking at really customer satisfaction and the whole customer experience, the complete customer engagement model, and thinking about every touch point that our customers have and trying to perfect that. And that's kind of how SuiteSuccess was born.
Okay.
So
yeah, what was the challenge that they brought forth with you?
So there's a few.
Okay.
Number one was we were talking about the time it takes for a customer to go live.
Okay.
So it was about reducing the time to go live. Mm-hmm. So we looked at that, what the average days to go live, and what kind of things can we do to reduce that time to go live. Another one was really increasing our annual recurring revenue, making sure that we were looking at making sure that we kept our customers satisfied to want to keep coming back.
Right.
When you're in a subscription-based company, you have to make your customers want to come back. They don't have to stay there.
Right.
So,
exactly.
So it was really looking at what are the challenges that we face and how can we make it better? So for SuiteSuccess, it was really looking at this complete customer engagement model for how we build the product to how we take the product and take that into leading practices based on our 20 years of experience in NetSuite working on the cloud.
Right.
How do we deliver to our customers and how do we optimize that whole experience with our customers?
And that's not just a NetSuite thing, by the way.
Right.
That's for anybody who's listening right now. I mean, this is like the model for, and this is why we have such great relationships with our customers, because our model is based upon what everybody's model, needs to be and is aiming towards, right?
Everybody has these same challenges.
Yeah.
This is not unique to NetSuite,
right?
But how we chose to do it was really unique for NetSuite, right?
So let's actually dive into that a little bit more.
Sure.
Can you tell me what you did with SuiteSuccess and how you guys built this new go-to-market model, and how companies or listeners who are listening in right now, how can this affect them, and what's the benefit for them, and what do these changes mean?
Sure. A lot of companies, they develop a methodology, and they might have a methodology for how they deliver their software or how they sell their software, but no one thinks about how to put everything together, how to really collaborate with all of the teams so no one's working in a silo. How do we work with the product team and ensure that the product team knows what the services team sees and gets that feedback back into the product and building a better product? How does the sales team know how to take those experiences and sell better and sell more of a experience that a customer is looking for and based on their real business challenges, not just software, right? Let's speak in real language that impacts customers. And so that's really what we were doing with SuiteSuccess. It's based on 4 pillars.
Okay.
So the first one is build. That is all about the product.
Okay.
So that is the product. Let's get the product to where it needs to be. Let's get the feedback for all the experiences that we've learned and build a better product.
Okay.
Right? It's engage, and the engage model is when we first engage with our customers. That's during the sales cycle. What experience do we do? How do we talk to them? Let's talk business challenges. Let's talk what they need to grow their business. Let's show that we're a partner with them, not just trying to take them through a sales cycle.
Right.
And then it's how do we deliver that? So taking that learning from the engage cycle and going to this consume, that's what we call it. How does a customer want to consume NetSuite?
Okay.
So the way they want to consume it is based on how they run their business.
Yeah.
So it's not about software, somebody saying financials or record to report. It's really, what are my business challenges? What are my pain points? And how can NetSuite use their years of experience and help me to consume this? And so that's where we have our Stairway.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to ask, how do you cater that to different customers of,
Yes.
different sizes, different industries, different histories and challenges? How does that all work together with all of these different customers that we cater to?
That's a great question, and that's really what SuiteSuccess is all about. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's taking our years of experience in each industry and coming up with a solution that's catered for that particular type of customer. So we're looking at how does a software customer need to utilize NetSuite versus a wholesale distributor? And so we've come up with those solutions and thought about what are the most important things that you need to solve as your business pain points when you first come onto a new software system. We've said, let's get that going so you can be able to recognize value quickly, and then we'll grow with you and partner with you as you go up this stairway.
Yeah, let's get into the stairway more then.
Sure.
You're about to kind of explain what that is and what are the different steps of the stairway.
Sure. So with our stairway, we have more of this foundation when we engage with our customers. So that's, like I said, that's looking at the basic things that you need in order to make your business grow. Sometimes if we have a customer that comes to us and they're really small customer, they've been having pain points with lots of manual data, utilizing Excel or QuickBooks, and they need to grow to that next stage of life, then we're looking at some of the main challenges that they would have had, and we're determining what are some of the leading practices that we need to do in order to get them there. And this is, we've gone through all of our statements of work that we've had in past years and, our business requirements documents, looked at the gaps and said, okay, let's not just look at the product, but let's look at really what we were delivering to our customers and give our customers a unique solution based on their needs in their industry.
Yeah.
And so, but it's also recognizing the fact that if you give a customer too much too quickly, they experience something we call implementation fatigue. So you want to ensure that you get them something, you get them excited utilizing the system, and then you give them more. And that's really the stairway process. So we can talk about, okay, let's get your foundation right first. Think of it as building a house. We're going to build the foundation first, and then we're going to build the rest of the house. But if you don't build your foundation solid enough, you're not going to be able to go with the rest.
You can't build the master bedroom without having the foundation first, right? You can't have that,
so that's the whole stairway concept.
Yeah, that dream walk-in closet without having the foundation, obviously.
Correct.
We are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, finish up a little bit with the stairway, and move into how we're taking this SuiteSuccess initiative international. So we'll be right back with you guys.
Which American company started with a guy in a garage, was featured on Shark Tank, and now has over 1 million customers? Hint, they're reducing crime in neighborhoods everywhere. Here's Ring Video Doorbell founder Jamie Siminoff with his secret to success.
It's true. In just a few years, we've had huge growth. We've hired hundreds of people, expanded our warehouse, and we're shipping millions of units a year, all while making sure our customers are happy. I've had lots of things to worry about, but I never worry about our finance and accounting because we use NetSuite from Oracle. From the beginning, NetSuite let me see what's going on with my business in real time, from revenues to expenses, customers and orders, even HR. I run my business from a dashboard right on my phone. NetSuite has been my business management system from 10 to a team of over 1,000, and NetSuite will be my choice as we continue to innovate and grow.
Go to netsuite.com/ring to see how Jamie scaled his business. You'll also get our free guide titled Overcoming Your 5 Obstacles to Growth. That's netsuite.com/ring for your free guide and the story of a great American company. netsuite.com/ring.
So with the Stairway, basically what we're saying is it doesn't matter where you are in your growth process. We'll either continue to help you grow or we'll grow with you, right?
Absolutely. This is not a one-size-fits-all. So a lot of the times when we tell people that it's pre-configured, they think it's an off-the-shelf solution. No, we're going to use the flexibility of the NetSuite platform. So this is going to depend on where you are in your growth cycle, what you need for today, and it's going to really tailor that Stairway to what your needs are. So as we work with you and our account management team comes in, they're going to be really looking at what your pain points are and how they can take you up that stairway as you grow and partner with NetSuite.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of times I know personally when I'm interviewing customers or talking to them, it's like, well, you guys don't cater to these bigger companies, right? It's just mostly emerging, and that's actually not the case, and that's what the Stairway is, proven, in fact.
Absolutely. And not to mention, we do think about all of our customers and different size customers. So it's from the smallest customer, the startup, to the largest enterprise customer. And there's going to be different ways that we engage because there's different needs as you're at those different growth stages in your customer lifecycle.
How are we doing all of this now internationally? How does SuiteSuccess enable us to, well, first of all, how are we growing this internationally? And then we'll get to how we're helping our customers go into new markets.
Sure. So it's been fantastic. With the Oracle acquisition, we've been allowed to really go quicker into new markets. So having an expansion strategy into JPAC and EMEA and Latin America has really helped us think about how do we really get our product up and going and expand there? And the way that we're going to market is via SuiteSuccess.
And by the way, for those that are listening that don't know what EMEA or JPAC stands for, can you just...
Sure.
No, I know it's lingo that we use here.
I know. Okay, so EMEA, Europe, Middle East, Africa, sorry. And then JPAC is Japan, Asia, Pacific region. So
great. Okay, got it. So how does SuiteSuccess enable our customers to go to market quickly in new countries?
Sure. So we really use SuiteSuccess as our blueprint for how we, really look at market growth and expansion. We started in North America. We went vertical by vertical in North America. We got a lot of great lessons learned, but we've been able to identify leading practices, and really we've determined a way to get into these new markets within a matter of months, not years.
Wow.
So that's been really incredible.
How? I mean, right? How?
Exactly, how? So it's because we know what are the base leading practices by industry, we can really go in and look at, okay, now what are the differences locally?
Okay.
Right? How does this country use, how's their wholesale distribution processes different?
Okay.
Right? How are their software processes different? But we've got a base solution for some leading practices that don't change based on going from country to country, but the unique ones that do, we're able to get that going and still deliver them a local experience.
So as we've talked about with Craig Sullivan on this podcast before, but let's reiterate it here, is what we're doing is we're, essentially going global but acting local.
Yes.
And I forget the exact terminology he said. Maybe it's thinking global, acting local.
It is act global, be local.
There you go.
And so with that vision of the product team, that's something that really resonates really well with SuiteSuccess. We come in and we're that last mile solution that we deliver beyond what the localizations deliver. So it's that real local experience. How does a controller need to see their dashboard in the Netherlands, right? How does a retailer need to see their dashboard in France? So we've really looked at, beyond just the localization of the product, what are some other nuances that we need to do? How are processes different? And that's what we're able to deliver.
And you said we've been able to do this in months, right?
Yes.
Not years.
Not years.
Why?
If you think about it, so just to give you an idea here, we started again about a little over 3 years ago is when we were given the problem statement.
The SuiteSuccess.
The SuiteSuccess problem statement. Now, as we go to market in North America, 96% of our sales as of the end of the last fiscal year were all going to market via SuiteSuccess. Wow. And then now we started with the mature markets.
Right.
And so we're in the UK and in Australia, New Zealand.
Right.
And then now we're expanding to China and different countries. But how, your question of how, it really has been that blueprint. We have the exact steps that we need. And the more we scale up, we've learned so many things of how do you scale to that next level? What do we need to do to really be able to take this further and further? And as we get those lessons learned, we tweak our processes a little bit and we keep scaling up.
And we've talked about it again on this podcast several times, but the Oracle acquisition has a lot to do with the fact that we're able to be I'm air quoting right now for our listeners, be local in these different markets, right?
Absolutely.
Can you speak to that a little bit more in depth?
So if you think about it, Oracle really invested in us, $9 billion purchase price. Their investment into the product, that's going to really allow us to be able to get what we need and expand quickly. If we didn't have that real trust in NetSuite, right? Mm-hmm. And the need for NetSuite to grow, we wouldn't be able to get all of these product localizations done so quickly. And if the product's not ready, we're not going to be able to go there with SuiteSuccess.
Right. That makes total sense. So because of Oracle's, they already are local, and so many of these they've brought NetSuite along with them and invested us to do the same.
Absolutely. Yes.
So there you have it. Listeners, once again, we answered the question that NetSuite is not going anywhere. In fact, Oracle just continues investing in us and we continue growing. Yes. So now let's talk about our customers and how this will affect them. What are some of the specific roadblocks you see people facing and expanding internationally?
So when you look at that, some of them are cultural, mm-hmm. right? As we go into different countries, you're going to get some cultural, trying to understand what SuiteSuccess really is and how that can help them, and trying to explain that this is not necessarily the way they've done business, but it's also us understanding how we translate that into what their needs are, right? And so that's kind of what we've done. So I won't necessarily consider it a roadblock, but it's been, makes things a little bit harder.
Of course, right? Of course.
And it really is this whole understanding that we're not a one-size-fits-all solution, mm-hmm. right? We have different market segmentations, we have different customer needs, and in each region, we're going to have different needs. So that's really some of the things that we've seen, but we're able to really bring our years of experience and provide that solution to our customers.
Right, 20 years of experience to
Absolutely.
Be exact, which is, it's a big deal. So how would you say Oracle NetSuite and SuiteSuccess support a company with their global growth strategy then?
So one of the ways, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but
of course.
Really is the Stairway.
Okay.
Right? That is the best way that we support our customers, because we're thinking about not just where you are today, mm-hmm. but where you want to be. In our sales cycle, we're really talking to our customers about where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years, right? And we're looking and mapping out their growth strategy and figuring out how NetSuite can help them get there. So that's one thing.
Okay.
The other thing is that for SuiteSuccess, we have different solutions based on market size, right? We have everything from the smallest starter customers, that's mm-hmm. for the startup companies, to the largest enterprise.
And that's even for international. That's not.
Absolutely.
It's not just a North American thing.
Not just a North America thing. We're doing that internationally. And another point there is that we weren't before. Uh-huh. So before SuiteSuccess came in, we really were just looking at a small part of the market, but there was so much untapped potential there.
Right.
And when we started to look at sort of what our target markets were, what the potentials were in each country, then we were able to look at how we've done in North America and expand that internationally.
So I have to ask, what is the differentiator from NetSuite over other competitors then?
It's funny. I've done so many conversations on SuiteSuccess, and I could say it's SuiteSuccess, but really NetSuite is the true differentiator. I mean, the flexibility of the platform and the cloud and all of the experience that we have in the cloud really becomes the differentiator. When you take that plus the investment of international, and now we have all of these international capabilities into our solutions, and then you put SuiteSuccess as the icing on the cake, and we're able to give them industry-based solutions based on our 20 years of leading practices for their industry, for their country, then that really is the differentiator that we give to our customers.
Do we see competitors doing this at all?
We see competitors trying to mimic it. But I think what happens is you get competitors getting sound bites of what we do, right? And so when I say that, I mean they hear, it's going to be a quicker time to go live. And so they're trying to do these really packaged solutions that can give a quicker time to go live. But really having somebody that takes the entire customer engagement lifecycle and puts it together, and it's a circular thing where we're constantly feeding back and it never ends. I haven't seen that.
What I want to kind of conclude on is, why right now? I mean, we've talked about how this has all come to fruition in the last couple of months. You talked about how SuiteSuccess that came forward only 3 years ago.
Right.
And then this past quarter, in the end of the fiscal year, sorry, not the past quarter, the end of the fiscal year 18 was when 96% of our customers are
in North America, correct?
In North America are utilizing the SuiteSuccess model. Why now?
That's an interesting question. For me, right now, really boils down to Oracle. And it's Oracle. We were doing this already, right? We were doing this already, but the energy here, all the investment into hiring in the international regions, all the investment into SuiteSuccess and really getting that out, everything has just come together in this perfect storm. And now this is really seeing our future with NetSuite and how much Oracle NetSuite can grow. So it's been phenomenal.
So I said we were concluding, but now I have to really add the concluding question, which is, so what's the importance of international expansion as a whole for both Oracle and Oracle NetSuite? How are we on the same page right now with these two very different companies who've come together? I mean, not so different, but they weren't, under the same umbrella until 2 years ago, and we happen to have the same goal.
Last night I was up late and I saw the earnings announcement come out. And in the earnings announcement, they spoke about the number of Fusion Cloud customers and the number of Oracle NetSuite customers. So if you look at that number of Oracle NetSuite customers, which was about 3 times the number of Oracle Fusion Cloud customers, why now? There's all this untapped potential on the NetSuite side. And how can we really hit the cloud market running if we're really able to do this quickly?
Yeah. And obviously the end goal is always to help our customers, to help them to continue to grow.
Absolutely.
Well, if you could end on one note for, let's say, someone who is looking into NetSuite but not quite sure, or maybe they're in the UK and they didn't really know that NetSuite had these capabilities, what would you say to them?
I would say look at NetSuite. The things that NetSuite has, the capabilities of the dashboards, the flexibility of the saved searches, everything that NetSuite has, and then bringing in One World and all the international capabilities, the things that NetSuite can help you solve, it's going to take your business to the next level. Again, let NetSuite partner with you and see how fast your business can grow.
Well, on that note, I don't think we could end it any better, Katrina. So thank you so much for being on this episode with us.
Thank you for having me.
And you'll be on again soon. I know it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So if you want to take your company to the next level, you know where to look. And we may have provided a link in the description of this podcast episode to help with that. Thank you so much, Katrina Horton, for joining us on this episode of the NetSuite podcast. And of course, it was all made possible by our sponsors at the Second City and Ring. I'd also like to say thank you to our editors at Lampstand and all you listeners for tuning in. As always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
You just listened to the NetSuite podcast. Be sure to tune in every week with more NetSuite developments, stories, and insights into the benefits of one integrated system to help you run your business.